Let's check in on the latest Decision Desk HQ 2024 forecast for the presidency, Senate, and the House. Hey guys, my name is Ryan Gest, Elections Data Fellow here at DDHQ. Today I'm going to take you through an updated look at our projections for the 2024 general election. You can follow along or take a peek through the website yourself at elections2024.thehill.com/forecast. Our forecasting model currently predicts that Donald Trump has a 56% chance of winning the presidency this November. This means that if the 2024 presidential race were, hypothetically, held 100 times, Donald Trump would be elected to a second non-consecutive term in the White House on 56 occasions. That being said, it also means that Joe Biden has a 44% chance of winning as well, which are the same odds the Kansas City Chiefs faced in this year's Super Bowl. And in case you forgot, the Chiefs won. On that note, most of the fundamental factors in our forecast, including the incumbency advantage, campaign fundraising, and various macroeconomic indicators, continue to all favor Biden. Yet, national and swing state polls show a clear advantage for former President Trump. According to Decision Desk HQ and The Hill's polling averages, Trump leads Biden by 0.9% nationally across 749 polls. That's a significant shift from Biden's 8.4-point lead in 538's final national polling average headed into Election Day in 2020. Even more concerning for the Biden campaign, though, is the fact that our swing state polling averages show Trump maintaining a consistent lead in 5 of the 6 states that Biden won by less than 3 points in 2020: Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, while Biden holds a narrow lead in Wisconsin. At most, Trump only needs to win 4 out of those 6 states to reach the necessary 270 electoral votes on the Electoral College map. And meanwhile, Biden and Trump are also statistically tied in 3 states that went blue by at least 7 percentage points in the 2020 election: Minnesota, Virginia, and New Hampshire. Should Biden lose any of these 3 states in November, he would almost certainly lose re-election. The deeper you look into the polls, it only gets worse for Biden. The president is viewed less favorably than his predecessor, Trump. Biden's favorability rating is less than 40%, with a net negative 17.7% rating, or the difference between his favorability and unfavorability, compared to Trump's 42.9% favorability and net negative 12.2% rating. Poll after poll has also suggested that voters trust Trump more on the key issues surrounding this cycle, like immigration, jobs, the economy, and foreign policy. Perhaps most concerning for Biden, though, according to Gallup, during his 13th quarter in office, from January 20th through April 19th, his job approval rating averaged 38.7%. That's the lowest among first-term presidents since Dwight D. Eisenhower in 1956. Now, the Decision Desk HQ 2024 forecast accounts for a multitude of factors and currently gives Trump an electoral vote edge at 235 to 226, with 77 electoral votes in the toss-up column out of our 6 key battleground states of Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. The outcome in these 6 toss-ups will in all likelihood decide who reaches the magic number, 270 electoral votes. At the time of recording this video, Trump is ever so slightly favored in Wisconsin with a 55% chance, Pennsylvania with a 54% chance, Georgia at 63%, and then Arizona at 60% on the dot. Biden, on the other hand, holds a slight advantage in Nevada, 52%, and Michigan, 54%. 13 more states are not considered to be safe or solid for either party, with either candidate's chances of winning between 65% and 95% in either direction. Most of these fringe battleground states favor Biden. These include Oregon, Colorado, and New Mexico as likely Democrat, and then Minnesota, Virginia, New Hampshire, and Maine as lean Democrat. For Trump, Alaska, Texas, Iowa, and Ohio are all likely Republican, while North Carolina and Florida lean towards Trump. And scrolling down here, you can see that Trump has been slightly favored since we launched our forecast on May 25th, though his chance of winning has yet to exceed 60%. Our current average electoral college projection has Trump at 279 electoral votes to Biden's 259. Now, this means that across the millions and millions of simulations that we ran, Trump won 279 electoral votes on average. Of course, though, given that we do run 14,605 simulations each day, there are all kinds of different scenarios in which either Biden or Trump could reach 270 electoral votes. There's also a 0.5% chance of an electoral vote tie at 269 to 269 in the Electoral College. So that wraps up our presidential forecast. Let's head to the Senate now. Republicans have a 77% chance of flipping control of the Senate according to our latest model update. Like the previous Class 1 Senate election cycle in 2018, Republicans are considered to have a fundamental advantage on the map, as Democrats are defending 23 of the 33 seats up for election, including 9 of the 11 most competitive races, and among these, there are 3 states that Donald Trump won in both 2016 and 2020, while no Republican-held seats are in states won by Joe Biden in 2020. That is significant because in the last 2 Senate elections during presidential years, 2016 and 2020, only 1 senator was elected in a state that the opposing presidential nominee won. So, in other words, the fundamental advantage lies with the Republican Party. However, one trend we're observing in pretty much every state that has both a competitive presidential and Senate contest is that the Democratic Senate candidates are consistently polling better than Joe Biden at the top of the ticket. And this trend is likely to keep the Democrats within striking distance, especially if Biden does manage to hold on to the presidency and thereby maintain Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote as vice president. Currently, Democrats' 23% chance of retaining the Senate is almost the same chance as flipping a coin and getting heads twice in a row. Overall, Republicans are projected to win 51 seats compared to the Democrats' 46, with 3 races currently categorized as toss-ups in Michigan, Ohio, and then Arizona. Democrats are favored to win the competitive contests in Nevada, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. Meanwhile, Republicans hold advantages in Florida, Texas, and then up here, Montana. And so with that in mind, the math for Democrats to maintain their slim majority is that they must win not only all of the competitive states in which they are currently favored, but also secure a victory in all 3 toss-ups and at least one of these races where Republicans are currently favored. A tall task, to say the least. Our current average seat projection places Republicans at 52 over Democrats' 48, which has remained unchanged since our forecast release. Again, we run millions and millions of simulations, and so of course there are scenarios in which Democrats win more than 50 seats. But as is made obvious by these graphs here, there are far more scenarios in which Republicans accomplish that feat. Our model currently puts a 10.9% chance of a 50-50 tie in the Senate, a scenario in which the outcome of the presidential race would determine control of the upper chamber. Let's head back over to the House now, the lower chamber. Our model currently predicts that Republicans have a 61% chance of winning the House and maintaining their majority. The GOP is entering this cycle with a very narrow 219 to 213 seat majority, coming off a disappointing midterm cycle in which they fell short of lofty expectations. And now led by Mike Johnson after the ouster of Kevin McCarthy, they don't have much room for error against the Democrats, who are now led by Hakeem Jeffries instead of Nancy Pelosi for the first time since 2002. The DDHQ forecast gives Republicans an edge in 212 seats over Democrats' 206, with 17 races labeled as toss-ups. Those 17 toss-ups, plus the 40 races labeled either as lean Democrat or lean Republican, are very likely to determine the power and the ultimate size of either party's potential majority post-November. And scrolling down again, our average House seat projection does tack Republicans at 222 to Democrats' 213. This has remained consistent since we launched our forecast. Among the 60 or so most competitive races, 5 are in California, 4 in New York, and then 3 in Michigan and Pennsylvania. Alrighty, so that does it for this edition of an update of the 2024 Decision Desk HQ forecasting model. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click that like button down below if you did indeed like it, and subscribe to the channel while you're at it if you haven't already. Also check out more content from our channel here, and we'll catch you next time.